Unscripted.
Unshackled.
Uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for mature audiences only.
It's Miguel Fuller.
Holly O'Connor.
And Scotty the Body.
It's the Miguel and Holly Uncensored podcast.
Only on Hot 101.5.
Hey, we back.
Yo,
From
what
the
up?
weekend. What's up?
We
on the YouTube channel streaming live.
on a YouTube.
On the YouTube.
On a YouTube.
On YouTube. Hey.
Yeah,
that's
hot
the new
and
song.
That should be the new
I like that. So I know my cadence. If I were ever to be a rapper, mine would be like, we on the YouTube. We on the YouTube. Hey.
Yeah.
I like barely open my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what's going on?
It's that new mumble rap.
You get it. It's a little slower because let's be
Right.
honest, you can't do it fast.
No, there ain't no way my brain would be able to catch up with
That'd
what
be
I'm
dope, though.
like. I can't do that and just talking on the radio sometimes. So
Yeah.
not rapping really quickly.
No.
So we're back from a weekend, and
Hey.
then the schedule's going to be a little wonky for the next couple of weeks because we got MLK Day coming up. We'll be off, and then I'll be on my honeymoon. So it's going to be a little crazy.
Okay, real quick, let me get this all put together. Are
Mhm.
you going to be here at our work the day before your wedding? Or are you taking that day off?
I think I'm going to take it off.
You should.
Yeah.
Go pamper yourself.
Like I was going to work, and then Abe was like, "The F you
I
are."
think Holly and I need off though too. We're in the wedding. That's a
Oh.
lot of stress. You know, Holly's got to practice.
I gotta
I
practice.
got to practice.
I gotta figure out my nails
Yeah.
situation. I gotta figure out hair.
I got to iron my pants.
Yeah.
He's got to iron his pants.
You got to iron your pants.
All right. So no, we probably won't be off, but you definitely should be off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I already feel bad, of course, for like taking a week off
Ugh,
on a
ew.
time that we don't normally take off in January.
That's what
Generational
happens
trauma.
when you have a wedding.
I know, I'm just like, ooh, dude. But yeah, so like literally before we started the podcast, I was just putting together a little email to send to everybody about the rehearsal dinner and the rehearsal and all that stuff. And then like, cause like I've said several times, because I haven't been to a lot of weddings and I never thought about putting a wedding together, I was like, what the rehearsal dinner, like what happens there? So like I was reading some wedding websites
Yeah.
about like just etiquette and what you do. And I was like, wow, I feel like we have a nice space I'm excited for. But I feel like there should have been more things planned. But then my wedding planner was like, don't stress about it. Like, in today's age, it's not like it used to be where you need to be in like a nice fancy place. And then like if the groom's parents were hosting it, they
Which
would
they
give a
usually
speech.
were,
They were,
yeah.
they'd give a speech, and then
Yeah.
people who were traveling from out of town would come to it
Yes.
and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, we're paying for all this on our own. So we're keeping it just to the wedding party, Holly and Scott and our parents. And that's it. That's it.
You can do
So-
a rehearsal dinner however you want. But I mean, there does need to be a rehearsal.
Right. Yeah. So we are doing that at the current hotel. So I'm just like, so anyway, I'm putting together an email with like the timeline for everything. Like I had to get a shuttle.
I
and just-
love a good timeline. There's nothing I like better than a plan of action, and that
Yes.
includes a timeline. Oh,
Absolutely. So I'm just waiting for one more email address because we said that our wedding party, they could bring their spouses or partners or whatever.
Yeah.
So one of my friends who just started dating someone,
Oh.
I was like, what's their email address? And he's like, I don't know.
You're like, if you don't know the email address,
They
they probably not shouldn't come.
I was like, you know, they booty hole, but you don't know their email address.
Oh.
And then my friend said, well, does Scott know his girlfriend's email address? Scott?
I didn't. Not
No.
off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I
so-
did have an email from her, but it was from her work email. I was like, I'm not going to give you that. But then she sent me her actual one. And I was like, what kind of email? I'm happy I didn't know that earlier. 'Cause
That would have been a deal breaker.
What was wrong with their email address?
it was a Hotmail. I was like, what is Hotmail?
Oh.
What does Hotmail even look like?
I don't
now?
know.
Girl.
Like, even growing up, like when I had my first email as a kid, I was given an AOL.
Yeah.
And that was like, okay, boom, right into Gmail.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know people use other ones, but I guess it's a big thing. Like a lot of people use Yahoo, Hotmail. I'm like,
I
why are you
honestly
lessening your ability?
Did
Wow.
slamming.
I'm just being
other
honest.
email servers.
Wow.
All right, I mean, I think can we all just admit, like, Gmail is the gold star standard,
It's
Yeah.
the shiznit.
right?
Yeah. I
Like,
mean-
that's the most professional, non-professional
Right.
email
Right.
system, because it just seems like it's Gmail.
I mean, but also I would like, because as I've been collecting email addresses from people in the wedding party, just so I can send out information, I've been surprised at who's still using Yahoo.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
Like,
That's what
I'm sorry, like
saying.
one of my friends who like he works as like a product manager for a tech company. His personal email address was Yahoo, and I wanted to be like,
A tech company.
are
work
you
for tech?
serious? Yeah.
Sending off
Yeah.
emails like this. Yahoo! You just pop in your inbox and you're like, Yahoo! Got an email.
I would get it if it did that every time I got an email. If it went,
Yahoo.
Ew, no, I have a Yahoo. Do I use it for anything other than like signing up for some junk that I'm gonna get spammed with? No. No, I use a Gmail like normal professional people. But that's the problem though, is that like maybe because I have a silly Yahoo email address that I got when I was like 17 or 18 years old.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not silly, if yours was like, John Smith at yahoo.com,
Right.
maybe you felt like you didn't need to change it or at least upgrade it.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm looking at some of these. I mean, I think shouts out goes to Abe's parents who have like a domain name of like just their last name.
Oh.
And like, so their email address is like, dad@theirlastname.com.
Oh,
And I was like,
fancy.
okay. I was shocked. I was like, okay.
That's fancy as
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know why. It's been really interesting, like going through people's
Maybe
email
we should think
addresses.
about what like the perception of each email server is. I don't know. Right. Like with Hotmail, I feel like that was pretty standard. Like when I was in college,
Right.
my college boyfriend had a Hotmail account, and I was like, oh, that's very like up and coming, because he was like a technology major. And I was like, oh, that's very up and coming. That's when I still had my little Yahoo account. But like to hear it now, I'm like, wait, that still exists? Because it's a function of MSN.
Well, I'm about to say,
Right?
when I went to Hotmail, it takes you to outlook.live.com.
Oh.
So I guess that's like Microsoft's like,
Microsoft's.
Yes.
So you can still use Hotmail,
Mhm.
but it might also be live.com.
right.
Wonder
I've
if it's
seen that
interchangeable.
one. Oh.
I don't know.
I think it's like you're, because I know that like if you sign into Skype, like you have to go to the live.com. And every freaking time I sign into Skype, it's so annoying because they're like, I don't know, like Microsoft, they go through all these layers of protection and like your password doesn't save in your phone. And I'm like, I don't know what password I came up for Skype back 8 years ago when I was single and I was trying to put my D out. Like, I don't know.
That's what you did on Skype?
Back then, yeah. I mean,
there's never a time period where I was like webcamming or like video chatting my dong.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I mean, there was
Good for you.
listen, there was a dark time in Miguel Fuller's life.
But you would trust the internet? Like anything I think that comes
No,
with
he
this
does.
camera? Like I feel like it's somebody in Russia is following me.
Email someone from Bratislava or Sven or whoever. No.
Latvia.
Latvia.
Everybody in Latvia seen your
Victor
dog.
from Latvia,
Victor from Latvia
who
has
lives
seen
in New York
penis.
now. Yeah.
Oh, he's no longer
He
in
did. He
Latvia.
saw everything, girl. That was like way back when you had like the webcam that was just like a bubble.
Oh
that you
my
put
God.
on, like, and it was like super pixelated. He saw me in my dorm room, girl. I was like,
no.
yeah, I ain't got no roommates. Come on, you want to see this? Ooh.
He's like, yes, I do.
Yes,
Come on,
I do. I
Victor.
want to see penis.
Like I almost got an air lane.
Flight. You got flight.
I don't got the plane to win the air. Went vroom to the other country.
I know.
Oh God.
I almost got on the flight.
Almost got on
The air.
flying box. It looked like a tube. Look like a metal tube, but climb in it.
Can y'all believe we can fly? I'm getting on the plane. I'm going to Latvia. Oh, Jesus Christ. So yes,
You almost went to Latvia.
I almost went to Latvia for spring break. I think sophomore years when I was talking to Victor online.
What would you have told your mother?
I don't know. Like,
Hey, I'm about to go out to the country real quick.
Victor's over there.
I gotta go see Victor and
showed
get
him
a
my
little...
dong on the camera.
listen, there was Victor And then there was this guy named Chris who lived in South Africa.
Miguel, who?
Man, they just try to. What? You
Listen,
falling for all the scams?
I was living. No, okay, both of them are real.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are real.
Yeah.
Chris now, he went to college in Canada and he lives up there now. I'm friends with him on Facebook. Oh, and there was one more. There was, oh gosh, he lived on Gibraltar, the Rock of Gibraltar.
What is what? That is not even real.
Is he from a book?
Why do I only picture that house in the middle of the sea that Harry Potter went with the Dursleys and Hagrid had to come find him in the first book? And you're like, that's your Rock of Gibraltar. Like, is that
Blame me, you're a wizard, Harry.
even a real, you're a wizard, Harry?
That was, hold on, I forgot what his name is.
I need to look that up. I'm not as well versed on
How do you
the
spell
Rock of Gibraltar as I'd like
No,
to be.
I got acquainted with it because he's another guy that I almost wanted to go visit too.
Oh, so hang on.
Thank goodness you didn't. You probably would have been taken.
No, I know. Like, he is a good guy. Like, hold on, Gibraltar. It's off the coast of Spain. The Rock of Gibraltar.
I see.
He lives on that rock.
It's a
He's still-
monolithic limestone promontory located in the British territory of Gibraltar. Oh, well, did he live on the rock or did he just live in Gibraltar?
just in Gibraltar.
Not on the actual
Not
rock.
on the. That's what I was saying.
Not
I was
like
thinking
a
that
seal.
Harry Potter.
I need to. Oh, Karim. That's what his name was. That's right.
Karim. Ah,
Yes,
he's a
he
good
lives
lad.
in Gibraltar. Yes, he just celebrated a birthday.
Hey, you still have him on Facebook?
I do. Him and I used to. This was when I was in college. This is my junior year of college. And he was a good friend. Like, we would like have, like some sexy phone call talks.
You would call Gibraltar?
Yeah, I forgot how I was able to do it because I had a cell phone by then, but I don't remember how. But like, I think he would call me. But there was like certain times that we would have to line it up.
Y'all don't understand. When the internet was young, it was like everything was possible.
Yes.
And there were no like bad things happening.
Mhm.
And I
Wow.
say that like, of course there were. Thank you for this music. But when we first came up with the
The internet.
it was weird because of course our parents didn't know anything about it at
Mhm.
all. And they were just like, don't you talk to people on the internet, strangers. Nowadays, we're the ones that are like, whoa, y'all gotta be real careful about this internet business. And our parents are like, I clicked on I clicked on a Facebook ad.
It's fine. It's just a link.
Click on the link.
Okay.
They
I
said-
sent that presidential candidate $40
Yeah.
because I believe that message. And I'm just
Oh,
like,
God. That's-
Ma!
Like, what are you doing?
So anyways, the roles have reversed, even though I feel like we're right.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so Chris, Victor, and Karim.
That's a lot of people
we're-
from all over the world.
Well, because then
The
I remember we used
traveler.
to like send like long emails back and forth to each other.
It's like a pen
and-
pal.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, I had a fun time back then, girl.
This was before social media.
It is. So this was my social medias. I would send these long emails to all these different guys back in the day. But anyway, so yeah, Victor from Latvia is in New York. I don't know how we got here.
I don't either, but where do we go?
Oh,
from
your
here?
wedding.
Oh, that's a great segue. Email addresses.
Email. Oh, that's
yeah.
yeah. See, it was that email
Yeah,
address. is
Let Monica
Hotmail.
have Hotmail.
Yeah,
She's
there we go.
hot.
Hotmail. Yeah.
She's
Oh,
hot. She
yeah.
can have a Hotmail.
Well, I did. I messaged you. I said that's very old fashioned of you, but you know what? It's all right. You go, girl. Keep the Hotmail.
That's right.
You just won't be getting it from my fancy Gmail.
Oh.
I remember when Gmail first came out and you had to like sign up for it. And it was like a wait list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a wait list. And I remember I was like, I got Gmail.
When did it come out?
Let me see. When did Gmail?
I remember my dad like made me make one with my name. I was like young, but he was like, you have to
Oh.
get your full name.
Wow. April 1st, 2004.
Oh. I made mine in 2007. And I was very lucky because I'm just going to tell you my Gmail, but I got a very cool Gmail. But I felt like I was new on the bandwagon, even though it was 07 and it apparently came out in 04.
But it was like a process though. Like it wasn't like a boom, everybody can
wasn't-
sign up.
Nobody jumped on board in
Right.
04 because we all had our Yahoo accounts and we were like, what is Gmail bringing to the party?
Mm-hmm.
And I made my ex-husband get a Gmail because he had a Yahoo. And when we got together, we had to start putting emails on stuff. And I was like, this is ridiculous. No, you're getting a Gmail. And I did. He still uses it to this day.
There you go.
It is what it is.
All right.
So what else?
Sorry, I found that article that was like what your email address says about you.
Oh
but
my gosh.
It's from 2010.
Okay, then it's
So
very
that's-
irrelevant.
Yeah, that's
Like 12 years
12
ago.
years ago, yeah.
what your email inbox reveal. Anyway. So anyway, rehearsal dinner, emails
Your wedding's
going
coming
out.
up.
So
Wedding's
there
coming
actually
up.
is like a walkthrough of like how everything's gonna flow, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna stop at the actual venue.
Yeah, so we're there at a certain time, and then we walk through everything, and then I've hired a shuttle that's going to pick us all up, take us over to the restaurant in St. Pete for the rehearsal dinner. We'll be there for a couple hours, and then it'll bring us back to the current hotel.
Oh, that's very fancy.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's paying for your own wedding. This has just been interesting because there's just money just flowing out just everywhere, and I looked at our credit card and I was like,
It's a lot.
I couldn't imagine. I just got rent on mine and I was like, ah!
it's a lot. It's a lot, but we're excited.
It's going to be a dream.
Excited. Oh, I forgot we are because I wanted to, because I've had a couple of people ask me, like, have I been like a groomzilla or which one of us have been, like,
Oh.
crazy. So actually, we're going to talk to our wedding planner on the podcast this
Is he
week.
going to be honest, though?
I
'Cause
told
you're
him
paying
to.
this man.
Well, I told him regardless. Like, I mean, if it's like if it's me, like, please feel free. Like, it's fine. Like, this is what we do. We
I
roast
feel
each
like
other.
you're probably not. And I feel like Abe's probably not. I feel like you're pretty low key.
I mean, we have. Because we wanted to like keep costs down, so like we pared a lot of stuff down because we were like, I'm not trying to have our florist wanted this nice, beautiful structure that she was gonna put together with flowers that would like hang from the ceiling for the reception, but we were like,
How much
you have
is it?
to
There's
think
always
about
a
stuff like
price.
this. Like, yes, when you're in the thick of it and planning and you're like that compared to like some other not as cool as that thing, like maybe we really should do this. But then you got to think about it both from your point of view and the people attending your wedding's point of view.
And we're gonna be looking
Not
up.
that many people are going to be like, do you see that structure of flowers and fronds?
right.
That must have cost a pretty penny.
Like, they won't know the
Anyway,
difference.
like they're
Right.
not gonna no one is noticing the expense. Like some of the stuff, and I'm sure your wedding planner would tell you which ones are which. Some of the stuff matters when
Right.
it comes to how much you pay for it. But some of the stuff, it's like now you're just being frivolous.
Right. Like if you had lots of money,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
But when you're, scraping together your nickels and dimes to, pay for everything, it's kind of like, we don't really need that, even though it'd be a nice added thing to it. But my
It's not
thing was like,
necessary.
anything that we spend money on, it needs to be like an Instagrammable moment.
Yes.
Because like a lot of people have been like, ooh, I bought this outfit for your wedding. So I want people to be able to take pretty pictures with pretty things around them to have forever. So I'm like, that's where my mind went for like, what are some things that we can create or some moments that we can create to make people be able to take pretty pictures to have with them forever from, the event.
Yeah, if you're gonna dress up,
Yeah.
gotta get a little picture captured.
Right. So that's sort of like what we've been sort of planning and angling things around.
Is there gonna be like an Insta wall?
Not an Insta wall, but something similar to it when you walk in. And then we had our meeting with the DJ and the MC that are radio friends of ours that we're flying them in.
Yeah.
So this one is emceeing and one is DJing, but they got to work together.
Yeah,
Do
they
know
work
each other?
together. Yeah, oh yeah. Actually, they're the ones that like approached me after the proposal
Okay.
and was like, "Hey, we want to be there. We want to do this for you for free." And we were like, "Yeah, we'll pay for your accommodations and stuff." And so we had our meeting with them, going over songs and stuff. And like, they're such radio people. Like, it was so funny. Chris Cruz
Yeah.
and Shorty from Greenville.
Why
they-
can't I pick like, oh, okay, I know.
if you saw his fake glasses,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Is he's DJing?
So yeah, he's
Chris Cruz isn't gonna DJ?
no. So Shorty has his own like big DJ company in Greenville, South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And it's so funny when I told our wedding planner, I was like, yeah, I have a friend, some radio friends. And our wedding planner was like, what sort of ragtag DJ are you? He didn't say that.
Hey, but he
But
probably thought it.
I know, but he was
Hey!
kind of like, what? And so they met, and literally our wedding planner on the next meeting was like, I am impressed.
Mm.
He was like, I've done a lot of weddings in my years. I'm impressed with, and they're bringing like the whole kit and caboodle, like their lighting system and all this other stuff. So our wedding planner was like, this is great. But on our Zoom meeting that we had with Chris and Sean, Abe, and our wedding planner, Like the three of us are just like radio people, just like joke, blah, 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 blah,
Like
blah, blah,
everyone is trying to be the most funny and like the look at me person in the room.
and our wedding planner,
I know.
he's
this.
just like, oh, okay.
All right.
And Abe would literally, he said several times, fucking radio people. Just
But that's what we are. I'm
Exactly.
like, why else do you think we got these jobs? We're
Exactly.
attention whores. Like, hello.
But it's gonna be. I'm super excited. So we picked some songs that we're walking out to, that the wedding party's walking out to.
Do I get to pick my own song?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Wait, are you talking about during the wedding or during the reception?
Both.
Oh.
Both. Yeah, because when they got to the part of like, what songs do you want to walk out to for the ceremony, we were like, oh no, but they were great with like, all right, here are some suggestions. So one of the things that we did is, I don't think it's bad to reveal it.
Oh wait, maybe.
I mean, nobody from my family listens.
Ooh.
No.
None of my friends.
Oh yeah,
listen,
okay. As long okay.
So that's fine.
Oh wow, are you sure?
Just have a
Yeah,
little chat with all of us.
I wanted to say it's fine.
All right.
Do you remember in Bridgerton how they would have like current music but like classical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do that as we walk in. So like
Yes.
they were like, the older people will be like, what beautiful music.
Yeah.
But then us will be like, ooh, girl, is that Trap Queen that
Is
they're
that
walking
WAP?
into?
Yes. She's been in the kitchen cooking pies with us, baby. Like,
Macaroni in the pot.
Yes!
That's some wet and gushy.
yes. I did that for my cocktail hour. I had an entire, but of course we didn't have people playing it. But it was like the CD because Fall Out Boy has a string quartet version of the Under the Cork Tree album, and or maybe it's a mix. Anyway. So the people at the at my cocktail hour, which I was so bummed because I couldn't be at it. We were taking pictures.
Yep.
They all got serenaded by this lovely string quartet that were actually playing Fall Out Boy songs. I loved it, and I didn't even experience it, but it really it was like a little chef's kiss.
Yes.
I'm
So
super
that's
excited about
cool.
that. Yeah. So we get to make a second entrance because we're splitting up the reception for like the eating part and like speeches and the first dance. And then after that, we go upstairs to the rooftop bar for like the cake, and that's where the cupcakes and then like the sort of after hours, the buffalo wings and the sliders, our two favorite things, are gonna come out and be served all around and everything. And then that's where like the dancing and the hoochie dancing will be.
I can't wait to dance.
Yeah. That's
And
where
hoochie.
the
I got to
hoochie.
bring a second pair of shoes that I can dance in.
That's true.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I don't like I have to have like some pretty wicked high heels
Yeah.
for the first part where everything is like very up and
Yeah.
fancy. But I can't really get down. I can't get low
No.
with
Oh.
those shoes.
Are
I
you
think.
going to get low, Holly?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Hey,
probably. It's your
maybe.
wedding. How's it gonna get low at your wedding?
I love I love to dance, but I don't dance like other people dance.
What does that mean?
Holly needs a wide breadth of air.
a space.
She needs like everybody to get back and watch.
Well, it's unfortunate that that's what happens when I get drunk. Like, I'd like to tell you I'll try not to do that, but I know the
Nah.
second that drunk Holly comes out, she will clear a space. And then what'll happen is that I'll proceed to do choreographed movements to whatever song happens to be playing. Have I thought about these movements in advance? No, I just come up with them on the fly. And it looks as though I've choreographed an entire routine on the fly. And it's like includes like long spins, like it's a lot of showy, like arms up this
Yes.
way.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll grab a person in if I need like a prop and then let them go spinning around. It's very attention hoggy and really obnoxious.
I hope you do it. I hope you just. I think actually on the list I did put "Don't Stop Believing."
Oh, thank God. I was
did.
wondering. But see, here's
did.
what okay, not that I'm gonna do this for
Oh my
you.
gosh.
I might. But in June, when I went to my high school best friend's wedding, it's always like towards the end of the night. So I was drunk.
Yeah.
And that song comes on in an effort to not make her wedding about me.
Wow.
In an effort, I made her the center of the day. Like I danced around her
Right.
and I kept pointing to her.
Yeah.
I like got
Right.
down on one knee and like let her walk
Yes.
around me. So even though I stole the show, it was about her.
Girl, still the show. Do it, girl. Do it, girl.
It's and the thing is, in that moment, I'm like living.
This is
This is
it.
Like, I'm
This
like,
is it.
I bet everyone is in awe. And they want more. They're clap. They
They're like,
want
Holly,
more.
Holly,
Holly, Holly, Holly.
And then the next day I see pictures and I'm like, oh shit! God! Why am I this way?
No.
And then I just have to absolutely push that down and just move on with my life because it's too mortifying.
Oh my God. Well, I remember doing that at your wedding way back in, what was that, 2010?
2010, yes.
2010. When Thriller came on. And I remember because like all your family was like, what's Miguel gonna do? What's Miguel gonna do?
Oh.
And like I only know like that one move.
You only know that thing where you
So,
clap.
I just kept doing that over and over, and they were like, "Go ahead, go ahead," and I was like, "Oh
You're
God!"
like, well, obviously they're used to me, so they're like, "Oh, Miguel must be about to put on a show."
I was like, "I'll put on like a 30-second show, and that's about it." And then I'm like, then you get nervous. You're like, "All right, come on, everybody, let's get together, everybody dance. Let's go, let's go, let's go."
Bring somebody else in.
Is there anything that you are worried about when it comes to your wedding day?
I think the biggest stressor is like the mingling of the families.
Mhm.
Of like when we put together the seating chart, like because you don't want people to be uncomfortable and like sit next to someone they don't know.
Yeah.
But I tried to get it to where like there'd be 2 people from my family and like 2 aunts and uncles and 2 aunts and uncles from Abe's family, like sort of across from each other.
Mm.
So you were like sitting next to your spouse, but then like you would make conversation with the other family across the table.
You put people from his family and people from your family at the same table?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. That's
Yeah.
a fun experiment. Can't wait
Yeah.
to see how this goes.
Well, but then too, the way that the room is set up, it's like, if you can picture it, there is like a long table near the windows where like the wedding party will be sitting.
Of course.
And then sort of like a T down the middle, there's like the big table.
Is the big table the top of the T?
No, it's like you know what? I can show you like a little picture of it.
Oh.
Yeah. Our wedding planner uses this whole like system where you can, like we did electronically, where we could like move little like people around and stuff on
Oh,
it.
that's cool.
So you can see the outline of it. All right, here we go. Let me zoom in. So if you're on our YouTube channel, let me zoom in real quick so you can sort of see what I'm talking about.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Oh God, the lighting.
Okay.
So do you see the dance floor?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So
What's that like line of tables that's like in the middle of the room? One long line.
that's the one where like our parents.
Ye-
That one right there.
Yeah, the big long one.
Yeah, so that's where our parents are sitting, and that's where like our families are. So that's like immediate like uncles and aunts
On that one long
one long table. And then there's another table towards the back because people have canceled because of COVID and stuff. We had to eliminate a table. So then we had to like fill in like sort of perpendicular to the wedding party table at the other end of the room.
Mhm.
So that's sort of a mishmash of people of like, that was like the weirdest thing of like who like knows different people and like I know would be okay talking to like different people.
Strangers, yeah.
Because like my
It's
mom's
so
best
tough.
friend is like bringing a guy, but like
Uh,
she also like my mom's best friend from Denver when we lived there long ago is coming with her daughter. So I was like, well,
Oh.
do they know her other best friend from Atlanta? Let's put them together and then put them. So it was like,
It is so exhausting
yes.
and just it's maddening work.
It
So
is, it is.
kudos to you for getting that done. What a
So just,
nightmare.
but I think the biggest fear is just making sure that everyone gets along, and then too just COVID. I mean, with
Yeah.
everything going on, it's like this dark cloud that just keeps, every other day we'll get another text from someone saying, "Oh, I'm getting really nervous. I can't make it. I'm so sorry. I don't feel comfortable traveling." So my biggest fear is that like if like my mom or his parents all of a sudden were like, I'm just too nervous to do it, then I like,
They have to realize though that what the implications of that.
right. And they haven't like let on to anything. Like that's just, Abe was like, if that happens, like I just may not happen. Like, I just don't know if I'd be able to deal with that. Cause one of his like, love aunts that he loves, she's like the matriarch of their family, but she's a little bit older. She was like, I'm so sorry. Like she was just in tears, but she was like, I don't feel comfortable. And we were like, totally understand. Cause we're going to have a Buffalo thing probably this summer anyway. But that's probably our biggest fear is that everyone feels comfortable and safe, and they also leave safe as well.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest fear that's like just running over our heads. But like everything else, like the organization of it, like our wedding planner is just so on it that I just feel like I'm trying to keep up my shit, like the rehearsal dinner and like the other stuff that I need to do. Like we were like, are we gonna have like a goodbye brunch or something? I'm like, I don't know. What if we are? We ain't paying for it.
Oh yeah, no, you paid enough.
We done.
I'll buy myself some eggs.
We ain't paying for nothing else. We done.
Yeah.
So it's just like those little things and making sure that everyone feels like they have the information.
Yeah.
Because especially working in our business where we do events and stuff, there's nothing more frustrating than going into an event not knowing what you're doing.
Yes,
And
thank
so
you.
I'm just trying to make sure that I'm over communicating with everybody and everyone has all the information. So,
Yeah, I think, and once you send out the timeline, I think it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
I love a good timeline.
So, and do y'all have anything from the weekend you want to talk about real quick?
No.
No.
Skylar,
I went to Aldi for the first time ever.
Oh, Aldi?
Aldi, yeah. Well, like it in my head, it's been this thing that's been made up of this not a magical experience, but like you gotta go to Aldi. Like my girlfriend Monica, like when I first met her, she brought over some great wine from Aldi. She's like, you gotta get it. It's cheaper. So I've just put it off year after year because even in college, people would talk about Aldi. I'm like, one day I'll get there. But the thing that like turned me away is like I knew I had to use a quarter to get a cart.
yeah.
And then I also knew I had to bring my own bags. And so whenever I'd be out, I was like, oh, I don't have my own bags. And I don't
But
quarter
you
for a
don't have
cart.
to have your own bags. You just take a box from the
Well,
store.
I've discovered that as soon as I went there yesterday, I walked in that place. I didn't even grab a cart. I grabbed the box off a shelf, filled that sucker up, and then checked out.
Yeah.
It was marvelous.
Oh, man,
As
I'm
in
kind of
the
bummed you
easy-
didn't get to do the quarter though. It's fun.
Well, I'll definitely go back because as soon as I checked out and I saw the price, I was like, oh my God, I just got so much food. For
I need to go to Aldi. Growing up, we only usually went to Aldi.
Mm.
And so that was also where we would get the cocoa dots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So it's like some sort of weird trigger where I'm like, if I can afford not to go to Aldi, I'm doing good. Like, I don't know. It's a weird psychological thing. I should go to Aldi though. First of all, the quarter cart thing is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you just get a box. That was like part of our job when we would go with my grandmother or like usually it was with her or my stepdad. Like our job as kids was go find a good box.
Oh, see, that's fun. See, okay.
Get a good box.
I love finding a good box.
We used to have to find a box in like Sam's Club. We would go and like that's when I'd find a box to like check out. But
That's where you found your box.
that's why my box.
Sam's Club.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a good box. But no, Aldi was
Big
good.
boxes.
It was simple. It was a lot
Yeah.
more like underwhelming than like I thought. I guess in my head it was gonna be.
You think someone was gonna like come pick you up and sing you down the aisles?
Kind of. I was hoping someone's gonna say, "Welcome to Aldi, first time forever." But that didn't happen. I just kind of walked in. It was late. There's like 4 people in there. Did our thing and I got out.
Mhm.
But I'll probably be back.
All right. I like that.
Yeah, I feel like I was telling Abe, I'm like, we gotta cut down on some expenses because I feel like when I go to the grocery store just to like cook a dinner, it's like $50 or something like that. And so I know one of our friends, they do the HelloFresh meals.
Yeah.
And so those look kind of good. And I'm like, maybe that'll help because then sometimes I agonize over what I'm gonna cook us for dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm
I-
like,
Like
You
I
can get
want
the
to
recipes,
say,
but-
like I did a HelloFresh trial. We got, I think, 2 weeks of stuff,
Yeah.
and it's great in a way that like everything is right there.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
like the teaspoon of pepper that you need, like they include it. You know, it's like crazy, and so that's a cool thing. And the meals were really delicious that
They're
we got.
good.
The couple issues I had with it though is like you always got to be planning ahead because
mm,
because it's like an automatic subscription thing. And if you miss it, they're just going to send you whatever the hell.
right.
And then you're like, I didn't really want this. We
Mm.
actually had to throw out one of them because it was like a pasta dish with a
Oh.
little meat. And like, we're not eating a lot of anything wheat. So no
Wheat?
pasta, no biscuits. And there's so much of those foods that are in those because
Yeah.
obviously they're filling,
right.
right? And like they're healthy, but like we're just on a diet plan
Yeah, you
where
just cut it out.
we don't eat that. So it's difficult because you got to go through and choose the meals, and there's not that many meals without some kind of like heavy wheat product in
Oh,
it.
really? So they don't have like a keto type version or anything like that?
No.
We get a couple. We like
There's
Monica
some
gets
meals
like
that
all the
have
time.
it.
Yeah, like
Mm.
I always tell Monica, my girlfriend, because we get it delivered too. And this is where we get in fights in the kitchen because She likes to follow the directions step by step, exact. I'm like, you can go online, you find the recipe, you kind of get a general idea of what to do. We can put it together. But what I'm saying with this is like, you could do this already, save a lot of money and time. Go to the actual grocery store, get the things that the recipe says, and just print the recipe and do what it says there without having to do the whole.
We did keep
box
the recipe
delivery and
cards.
stuff.
I'm like, we're gonna make this
Yeah,
again.
you keep the ones that you really like.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But do you have to pay to see the recipes though?
No, yeah, you
Well,
can
it's
just
part
look
of
it
the
up on
plan.
Google with anything if
Oh,
you want.
Probably could. I liked it. It's just that it takes a longer time because obviously you're following the directions. It's very involved. Like you're over here making a sauce for this, a
Yes.
thing for that, and we like to try to keep our recipes relatively simpler. But so it didn't really work out for us in the end. Although I did like the food.
It tastes good.
And I like following directions. It was a long process. So
It's like
there's positive and negatives.
Like an hour-long
Yeah.
type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, we used to have this sort of like flow where I would make dinner Sunday nights, and then that would be like leftovers for Monday night, and then Tuesday would usually be like a sandwich night, and then Wednesday it was like order whatever you want, and then Thursday he would do like nerd night with his friends, our friends, and I would stay at home, and that was like my cheat night to order whatever I wanted. But then we've just been so messed up the past couple months with stuff going on that like Sunday last night I was like, I don't know. What do you want? And he was like,
It might be a good time for you to do HelloFresh.
Yeah, you could
we'll
do
just
that.
order food, whatever you want. I was like, I'm so
Yeah.
tired.
It's tough. We cook at home 3 times a week. And we'll do like usually we'll cook on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Because Maya's got dance on Wednesdays. So Wednesday's a fresh kitchen day.
Yeah.
See, I've been in the Fresh Kitchen a lot
Yeah.
lately. That stuff's good.
It's so good. So we did fresh kitchen Wednesday. And then we'll usually like go out on Friday, probably like order something in or go out on Saturday. And then Sunday's kind of like a toss up and we're never prepared for it. Sunday is like,
Hit you in the
you
face.
think you want to like have a good old home cooked meal. And then we're like, did you get it? Because my person grocery shops on Monday mornings. So we ain't got nothing in the house on Sunday
Nope.
afternoons.
It's a hodgepodge.
It's a big mess. And I'm like, can we just order all different things from like Uber Eats or something?
Yes.
And speaking of grocery shopping really quick, I wanted to say this. So he was there this morning and of course has texted me a couple times about stuff. And he said, lot of empty shelves at Publix.
Oh.
Lots. And I said, that's what I kept hearing. Like on TikTok, there's some of the accounts I follow that are like out there, and they kept saying that there's going to be a lot of supply chain shortage issues that we see develop in January that were happening in December.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I saw that might happen. He goes, no, it's a bit scary.
Oh.
Like that bad?
Yeah, I guess. He's there every week, so he sees it. And he said what they started it because they had BOGO chicken breasts last week. And he's like, oh, this is great. We can use chicken breasts for like every damn dinner.
That's true.
There was none. There were no chicken thighs. There were no chicken
What?
legs. They only had chicken backs.
Oh.
I was like, what the
hell's
hell
a
is a
chicken
chicken
back?
back? He's like, I don't know. There were a lot of bones. I'm like,
oh.
what? So this week it's BOGO chicken breast again. I forgot to ask him what it looked like with that. But he's like, but what they're doing is brilliant because they're like stretching out all the food they do have so that they don't necessarily look quite as bare, but there's like one row of beans like, or something
Oh, wow.
where it's like the thing might be full, but it's only one row. Or they
God.
just like put like some big advertisement,
Like some
signs
signage. Mhm.
inside the aisle so you can't tell it's bare.
Wow.
So he said it's kind of getting worse and worse. And it's a little weird.
I'm gonna go to the store today and
See, yesterday and all day.
To be
Oh,
fair,
great.
he gets panicky often about things. He's highly emotional. So he does tend to. So when I saw that, I'm like, all right. But since he's doing the grocery shopping every week, he sees it. And I know that he's like,
He sees
there's
the difference.
There's no food.
There ain't no food. There's chicken backs.
I'm scared.
The hell is a chicken back?
I will say, speaking of chicken real quick, we made wings in the air fryer last week.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, my dumbass had
Oh.
no clue that if you don't buy like the chicken wings frozen, they come like as a whole chicken wing and you have to like chop them up.
Right. You got to chop up the
flat
from
and
the
the drum.
drumming. Yep.
Yeah. So Abe had to do that because I was like, I don't know, that creeps me out a little bit. I don't know.
What?
So he got to
Oh,
cut them
You
up.
got to get a good knife and just whack.
Whack. Yeah, but
There's
I
a
was
way to do it where it's actually pretty easy and they split right in a good spot.
But yeah, I had no clue because I was at Publix and I just kept looking for like the drums and the flats.
And
And-
they were like,
I went to the meat man and I was like, hey, so do you? And he looked at me like I asked, like, what is a chicken?
she's like, these are actual birds.
Like, these are live animals.
gotta-
Like,
You know,
you got to actually cut them.
cut them.
Anyway, so that was
Well,
like,
good on Abe for
Yeah.
getting in there with a knife.
I had no clue that happened that way. I always thought that they were sold that way. That's how they grow on chickens. It's like a flat and a drum.
They got 4 wings. They're this and that.
All right, we are done for the day. Scott, what's your social media?
At Scott Taplin, SCOTTTAVLIN.
Miss Holly O'Connor.
Radio Holly on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Mine is Miguel Fuller, MIGUELFULLER. And really quick, Veronica on our YouTube channel said, Miguel, do you have Humpty Dumpty hanging from your mic? That is not Humpty Dumpty.
It does look like it from the camera, though.
It's true. It's John Mayer.
Holly gave me this as a Christmas gift, a John Mayer.
It's an air freshener for your
freshener.
car, but he got to hang it on the mic.
I got it hanging on the mic. And so it's really pleasant in the morning when I first come in.
Oh, good.
And I'm always like, ooh, John Mayer is helping me. But it's his guitar face.
Yeah.
When he has his mouth open and he's like,
Yeah. That's a good impression.
Yeah. So I kind of like sometimes when people look at our videos, they're like, what the hell is on your microphone?
John Mayer.
Well, thank you for being in the Platypus Posse. Thank you for everyone who watched on the YouTube channel. You can subscribe there. Make sure to like and subscribe and give us a rating wherever you listen to our podcast. And we will see you later this week.